for fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins, make sure you guys go check out my sponsor U4GM Coins. Use code VENOM at checkout for 5% off your order. Yo, what's good guys, Venomfire here, back to the video, and today I'm bringing you guys yet another pass defense. Now this one's going to come to us out of the Kansas City Chiefs or multiple defensive playbook. The formation we're going to be running today is going to be the $3-2-6. By far one of my favorite formations, I would say second to only the nickel 3-3-5. Before we get into the defense though, make sure you guys are subscribed. If you're new to the channel, definitely would be much appreciated if you could hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. So, before we even hop into the play, I'm going to go into my coaching adjustments and adjust my zone drops. Zone drops are a new feature they implemented this year, and I think they are very useful and very important to the game. So for the specific defense, I'm going to have my zone drops flats at 20, which will be the hard flats, cloud flats, and soft squats. Then I'm going to put my curl flats at 5. So my curl flats will be acting as my hard flats in this case. And then those cloud flats will be playing a little bit deeper. So again, I said we're in the $3-2-6 formation. One of the features out of that formation is that you can sub in safeties at linebacker. So you see I got some more speed at linebacker, or at the linebacker spot, rather than having Anthony Hitchens, who is very slow. So pretty much you got 8 defensive backs on the field, and then you got your 3 down linemen. You can sub in outside linebackers at your DN spots if you would like. But the play we're going to be running today is going to be DB Fire 2. As you guys see, I have 52 play calls, probably my second most called play out of the formation. Definitely a very solid play, probably the best cover 2 shell. It is a decent blitz, but I'm going to be mainly talking about the pass coverage, how to turn this into a lockdown play. Alright guys, as you see, we are out here on the field now. Again, we just got a little base cover 2 with the soft squats, as well as our 2 blitzing cornerbacks. But as you guys know, blitzing 5 people in this game really is not that good unless you have a designated blitz that works. Out of dollar, there's not really that much edge heat that you can do. Again, you can blitz these cornerbacks and have success, but it's really not the most reliable thing. I might talk about it a little bit later in the video, but let's get into the main setup. Again, I sort of have 2 main setups. One I do like a little bit better, and I'll start out with that one. But for the setup, especially against compressed sets and pretty much any set, what you will want to do is just press your corners. That's Y or triangle, and down on that left stick, that's going to bring those outside cornerbacks in. The slot cornerbacks should already be in, but again, you can move them in depending on the formation. But yeah, so we're going to turn these, slot cornerbacks into other zones. And again, you're wondering the reason why I mentioned curl flats in the beginning of the video. It's because we're going to put those slot cornerbacks in curl flats. We're going to double tap Y or triangle, press LB, push that left stick to the right hand side, and then we're going to do the exact same for A. So both our slot cornerbacks are now in curl flats. We got the soft squat zones as well as the curl flats, and then we obviously have our 2 deep zones and our 2 vertical hooks. So pretty much what you're going to do next is you're going to go ahead shade over the top. Now, soft squats play a little bit weird in this game. I think they play less weird when you adjust the zone drops, but they still do play a little bit weird. I definitely prefer the cloud flats when I change my zone drops. So what I did is I just went ahead, shade over the top, turn that soft squat into a cloud flat. Again, doesn't make too big of a difference, just thought I would mention that. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for the first setup. You see, pretty much everything will be covered. The only actual hole in the defense is going to be in the middle of the field. So this is where adjusting in-game is going to be key. So let's pretend that they were running a gun bunch. And gun bunch, the middle of the field, or let's say the bunch was on the right side. So what I would do if the bunch was on the right side is I would probably go with something like this. And again, usually out of bunch, they're never going to put the solo receiver just on a, streak. That's a pretty weird thing. So again, something out of a compressed set might be a little bit more difficult to tell. But again, that's where you got to catch on to your opponent's tendencies, see if he's ever running a, streak on that side or whatever. Then you can, and taking those gambles. But just for the base setup, you're going to defend the middle of the field yourself. So we'll just go ahead, have them snap the football here, and we will lurk down pretty much everything. And you see, even there, I was a little bit late with my user, and that was a terrible user. But yeah, you're going to have to defend those quick post routes, pretty much everything. Again, I'll set it up really quickly because that was obviously an awful user. But here I'll user that, and again, you definitely can't be a little bit late, because even if you are late in this game, your safeties don't really jump too much. But there you see all over it, everything else is completely covered. I'll set it up one more time, and then we'll head into the instant replay. Again, press. If you want to move this cornerback in a little bit so that they're not, right on each other, again, doesn't make a difference, but it just looks a little bit better in my opinion. But again, all you're doing is putting LB or L1 in a curl flat, putting A in a curl flat, shading over the top. And then with these D linemen, it depends on what you want to do. Usually I'll rock with the contain though, because majority of the time you're going against mobile QBs. But again, you see, it can't be a split second late on that post route, but perfect user right there. We don't get the animation, but we do get the tip in the air and we defend the post. Let's take a look at the crossers though. So I wanted to take a look, sorry about that, at my sideline zones, because again, that's sort of the key thing about this defense. So take a look. We got the curl flat, and the curl flat again, it's acting as our hard flat. It's going to be playing 5 yards and sitting. You see it's at the 5 yard mark. And again, if you wanted to, you could turn it to 0, but I've noticed the 5 yard flats actually do a good job of defending slants and other things. But take a look at the backside drag from Tyler Higbee. You see the vert hook's pretty much defending it. If he throws that, it's maybe a yard. He might complete it, but he's not getting anything else. And then you see the curl flat defending it, the curl flat defending it super well late. As far as the crossers, let's take a look at this crosser on the left-hand side. This is going to be the true crosser. The other one's more of a post. But you see Van Jefferson just running straight up the field. Look at how well the curl flat or the cloud flat's going to defend. He's just dropping back straight, and he's not going completely outside. He's sort of inside. So if you throw it, right here, it's an easy click-on pick. Obviously, if you wait to throw it on the sideline, it's completely covered. I know that Goff released the football, but right here, completely covered. As far as this deep post, that might be something you keep an eye on. But again, that safety is pretty much going to be all over it, even with whatever pass lead you want. And again, keep in mind the time that Goff releases the ball is going to be right here. So that's when the safety is going to run over. But you see, pretty well covered. I'll show it one more time, then we'll hop into some of the other setups. Again, if I were going against a gun bunch, I could always set up my defense like this, pretending that the bunch is on the right side. And again, even against offense like this is a play that could work as well. You see right in the middle of the field, the safety's obviously going to intercept that unless EA doesn't want to give me an animation. But again, you can just mix up things. Again, you can definitely take some gambles with this. I do play this a little bit risky. And if I, sort of am forced to use her deep, you can always throw up a spy and only rush 2 if you want to. But the spy will definitely help out against those drag routes. But you see, it's really necessary to use it in the middle of the field, because if that's a low ball possession catch, it's money every time, especially out of these cover 2 shells. So again, if you're not going to be adjusting, or if, maybe you want to go with something weird like this, you can always do that. But again, take chances with it. It's not meant to be, the most basic, conservative defense in the game. It's meant to be a little bit of a riskier defense. But you see the backside coverage, very solid. Look at the hook curl playing right there. Actually, that might have been the middle third. I apologize. All right, guys, back out on the field. You see I'm going to be bringing you guys my second setup. But again, this isn't a every down type setup. This is something that you just want to mix in, a couple times a drive to throw off your opponent. And again, this is going to be a lot riskier defense. The other one I would consider risky, but it was relatively conservative in its own. But this one's going to be very risky with a lot of man adjustments. So again, we're going to give them the exact same look, but for this one, we're going to do something we haven't done before. We're going to do some cross-man adjustments. So we're going to cross-man these safeties, and you obviously, in years past, you could do it with the corners. You can't, which is unfortunate, but it's something that you got to deal with. But as far as the other setups or the other adjustments, what I would do is, you see I actually respotted the ball. I wanted to be on a hash mark for this because you want to double flat on the wide side, and the short side is not as important, double flat. So what I would do is simply set up my defense like this. So we got two people manned up. We got a double flat on the right. Really, our responsibility is going to be using that left-hand side of the field, the flats. And if I wanted to, I could always go like this, because again, I mentioned streaks from that short side of the field are pretty rare. But let's go ahead, have them hike the ball simply right here, and we will see. You guys see pretty much everything is bagged. And again, the players that we do not have manned up, we have double flats and we have our user. But again, this is just something that'll take away quick throws, quick slants, quick post routes. Again, it's really not meant to be an every down type of a thing. But I think it's a very solid concept to mix in. I do believe this is a better concept out of formation like a nickel 3-3-5, but out of dollar it is still usable, and that's what we're going to be talking about. So again, Obviously, out of this formation, it really does depend on if someone's on a drag, you're not really going to crossman them. So I might even crossman A on X. And again, you're not really going to have the need to crossman a tight end. So again, I won't really do that. But again, something you just got to pick up on the tendencies, see what players he's throwing to every time, and then you can just crossman them. And it will definitely throw off your opponent just a little bit. And again, that's really all you can ask for. But look at the crossman. Even a slow player like Daniel Sorensen is just completely on, and we get the interception with him actually. But I actually want to show you guys that replay. So we're just going to fall down and take a look at Sorensen. Keep in mind, Sorensen is a 70 overall, I believe, on around an 87 overall receiver with pretty good route running stats. So take a look at Robert Woods. So obviously we got the crossman adjustments. Cup's on that drag route. Cup's going to be bagged by our route. Cloud flat going deep. But yeah, take a look at, actually let's start out with Van Jefferson on his post route. So Van Jefferson, he's crossmanned by Thompson, this linebacker. Boom, he's going to crossman. And this is a really good way to take away the post routes. I know he doesn't have the best route running, Van Jefferson, but still, it's going to completely take away the post route. And that was, the big worry about the defense. You could attack it vertically up the field. Now you cannot. All you did was crossman one player. Even if he sort of tries to quick snap it, it's a click on interception. Now take a look at Sorensen. Sorensen's has the more difficult assignment. He's defending a complete crossing route with Woods. And you see, even with a 70 overall, he gets that little pretty good animation to defend it. If you throw it there, it's a click on pick. And even late, he's still within reach. I know he's slow. Woods is faster. But if you were to pretend that's like an 88 speed line or safety, he would be completely on him. And then again, really what you have to user is going to be any drag route from right to left. But yeah, pretty much everything else will be covered. Even that crosser would be pretty well defended by the cloud flat. So I'll just show it one more time, and then we will conclude the video here. So again, the setup was press, put A in a cloud or a curl flat, and then just crossman these players. Really on whoever you want. Again, this is where you get to choose what you want to do. Mix it up, crossman different players, never give him the same look, but give him the same concept. So we'll still user Bashad Breeland right here. You guys see, literally everything is covered. Even the computer can't find anybody open. That's how good this defense is. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Definitely gave you 2 solid setups in my opinion. But yeah, hit that like button. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. Again, we're on the road to 10K subscribers. Would be much appreciated. And yeah, peace. I'm out of here.